Hi, everybody. This is Mike Staver. This is Mondays with Mike, a weekly video series where I answer questions from people just like you. Here's this week's question. What would be your suggestion to a senior leader in an organization that has a rapidly worsening culture and the owner, who doesn't really worry about the small stuff, is not seeing it? If the senior leader approaches the owner, there is a possibility that they might get fired at a company they love and respect. If they don't approach, the attrition of great people will continue. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Well, let me just have a minute with you. First of all, there's some contradictions in your question. I don't mind telling you. So on the one hand, you say it's a rapidly eroding culture, worsening culture, and the owner who really doesn't worry about the small stuff. I think the first thing you got to keep in mind is culture is never small stuff. Anytime you think that culture is small stuff is the beginning of what the problem is, because culture is what matters. You could have a great business that puts out great product or great service or does whatever they do, and they could have a lousy culture and people aren't going to want to work there. So the second thing that I want you to, so first of all, culture is not small stuff. The second thing is, the question started out with the owner like kind of being a nice person but didn't sweat the small stuff, and then it finishes with, if I talk to them, I might get fired. That doesn't sound very good. So unless you have other performance issues that might get you fired, I would go, but I wouldn't talk about what's wrong with the company because they obviously don't want to hear it. I would talk about what we could do to make the company better. Remember that the brain works better when it's moving towards something, not moving away from something. So rather than talk about what's going wrong, talk about what your aspirational target is. What would be better? It would be better if I think we could really help the culture move in this direction, and then identify what the positive side of the culture is so that we can have more success. Most of the time, I find that owners of companies really don't like to talk about the negative stuff, particularly if they own the company, which this person does own the company. So that's what I would be. Don't call the baby ugly. Whenever you call the baby ugly, people tend to get defensive. Say, you know what? I think it would be better if we opened up communication, if we had a cocktail party, if we gave people focus groups, something like that is the best way to go. That way, you're looking to solve the problem, not just report problems. Hope that's helpful. I'm Mike Staver. If you have a question you'd like me to answer on an episode, send it to info. That's info@mikestaver.com. Till next time, be courageous. Take care.